You may be asking yourself, do I need to maintain my air conditioner? Who needs to do the maintenance? Can I do it myself? How much is it going to cost? What do I need to do? What is done during a normal maintenance visit? All sorts of questions regarding maintaining your air conditioning and heating system. The truth is, all heating and air conditioning systems need to be maintained to function well and to stay healthy. But what exactly is required on each maintenance visit can be a little bit more basic than you're led to believe. The first thing you need to do when you want to maintain your own system is turn it on at the thermostat. So I'm going to drop the temperature down to a cool 70 degrees. It's 74 in here. We're going to let the system kick on and we're going to see what happens. I've got nice cool air coming out of these vents, and you don't need any fancy tools if you don't have them to check whether your air conditioning is working or not on a basic level. A typical air conditioning system should bring the temperature down by about 15 to 20 degrees. So if it's 74 in this space, the air coming out of this vent should be about 54. If you have a thermometer, it's a great time to use it. You can stick it up in the vent and check the temperature coming out. Now that we know the air conditioning system's functioning on a basic level, it at least turns on and blows cold air, we know that all the components are at least getting power and turning on. So step one's complete. The thing turns on. That's the biggest deal. A lot of people don't turn on their systems and even see if they're working. Step number two is to go find your filter and change it. As I take off this filter door, I'm looking at a couple things. I'm looking at the auxiliary drain pan. I'm checking to see that there's no water in that. If there's water in there, then that means we've had an overflow or a leak. This one's nice and dry, so I don't need to address it. Here's our filter. This is a 20 by 24 by 1. I can see that this filter is pretty clogged. So it's good to change this thing out right now. A clean filter allows your system to breathe efficiently and effectively. I always put the filter in so that the wire catches the media and doesn't allow it to get sucked into the system. There's also airflow indicators on the corner of the filter. So you want to follow those guides and install this filter just right. The new filter allows the system to breathe more efficiently. A clogged filter does not allow the refrigerant in the evaporator coil to evaporate into a gas before it sends it back out to the outdoor unit. For what it's worth, a dirty filter can effectively kill a perfectly good air conditioning system. So change those filters. And I'm also looking at these condensate drain lines. I've got a primary and a secondary. I can feel cold water running through the primary and I know it's draining out well. From time to time, we actually recommend we take off the cover and flush this line out with water. This is a P-trap over here, and this low piece right here, water can sit in that for 6 to 9 months before the system comes back on. That standing water develops sludge, the sludge can harden, and then you get a condensate blockage that can lead to a bunch of other issues. Condensate leaks are one of our 2 most common air conditioning unit failures. So one of the first things you need to do, change your filter. Second thing, look at your condensate drain lines and make sure everything's draining properly. An air conditioning tech can do this by sight in a matter of seconds while he's walking over to the unit. The first time around doing your own maintenance, you should take the time to familiarize yourself with how the condensation is removed from your home or office. Something that's second nature to me, but other items on a maintenance checklist are inspecting refrigerant line sets. I'm looking for any oil or residue here. The insulation is nice and tight. We don't have any air leaks. The low voltage wiring that's coming into this system and communicating is secured properly. It's been fastened with tape by previous installers. I do see an uninsulated piece of ductwork right here, and I might suggest to my customer that, hey, if this attic was to get 130 degrees, 140 degrees, heat would be transferring through here and that would be an efficiency loss. So adding a strip of insulation may be something that we would recommend. There are a few more items that could be inspected and could be gone over inside that furnace or air handler that we have up above the offices. For the sake of time in shooting this video, I didn't feel the need to pull off the cover as I know that it's getting great airflow and all signs externally point to everything functioning really well inside. I'm also listening to the way the blower's sounding, functioning, everything is tight and smooth and purring like a kitten. So I didn't feel the need to open that up. But that, while we were looking at the condensate lines and changing the filter, is the time and place to open up the unit and inspect for any clogs or debris or anything that looks awry inside the system. Next, we're gonna go look at the outdoor unit. And since ours is up on the roof, up we go. This is your power disconnect. We call it a disconnect. It's where you can disconnect power so that you can service and work on the equipment. Door opens here. That's how you kill power to the system. If you're getting a good working air conditioner, chances are these 30 amp fuses are still great. They sell them at your local hardware store and they're easily changed. But if you turn on your system and this thing won't come on, fuses are a good thing to check. Remember, not all fuse sizes are the same just because they're the same shape or might fit. You got to read on here. This one says TR25R, but that means it's a 25 amp fuse and it's rated for 250 volts AC. So when you get new fuses, they may be the same shape, but any fuse under 30 amps is going to be this size. And any fuse over 30 amps is going to be a little larger size. So you want to make sure you get the right amperage fuses for your system if we're going to still protect it from fire and damage properly. So we want to make sure and put the fuse block back in the on position. Put it right here and press it in firmly so we know that's pretty good to go. A capacitor is like lightning in a bottle. Every time your system starts up, it relies on stored energy in the capacitor to help it not only start moving in the first place, but to keep running. You can get these on Amazon and keep one on hand, and if you need to change it, you just say this one has a C terminal on it for common, and when you have your identical capacitor, you would pull this wire off, and you would put it immediately on the C terminal of the new capacitor. Then you would go to the next one that has F or fan, and you would pull one lead off, you put it on fan, and the next one on Herm or H, and that goes to your hermetic compressor. So really easy to change, just pull it off wire for wire, make sure you do it right. And again, every 3 to 5 years, capacitor change out. I hope you see here that a lot of the maintenance that we're doing is visual inspection, watching the system operate properly. We're listening, we're looking, we're feeling, we're checking a lot of things without using any heavily scientific instruments to do so. In order to get heating and air conditioning functioning properly, where we're actually dropping the temperature going into the system and coming out of the system by 20 degrees, most everything has to be functioning in perfect harmony. It's only when it falls out of range and it's not cooling your house properly that we have to start looking for broken components. Also, the visual inspections that our technicians can do is sometimes much quicker than the visual inspections that you might do because we may be looking at 2 or 3 things at the same time. We can do so quickly with visual cues, feeling things, looking for moisture, seeing oil. A lot of it happens really fast. I hope this video helps you become more comfortable with not only the maintenance process that we would do on your home or your office, but it would also help you to be more comfortable to feel like you could do this maintenance on your own if that's something you wish to do. If you have any questions, please let us know, as I would love to film more videos to be more helpful or answer your questions over the phone. You can call our office anytime. You can send me an email. You can speak with any of our techs. We're happy to help, and we just hope you have a great day.